Hey, this is Robert Borton, CEO of Classical Conversations, and I'm so excited to be here with one of our premier sponsors, Jeannie and Paul Bell with Erskine College, and that's out of due west, South Carolina. What is it due west of?
Nobody knows. That's the big
Nobody.
question. Yeah.
But a beautiful part of the country. I went to college myself in South Carolina. So I just want to know a little bit about your backgrounds and what you guys do at Erskine.
Okay. Let's start with Jeannie.
All right, Jeannie.
Okay, I have worked part-time at Erskine for about 17 years. I'm the coordinator of the SI program, which is supplemental instruction. And basically what that is I hire tutors to sit in on classes that are traditionally hard for students as freshmen, and they hold evening study sessions for those classes. It's a very part-time job that I've had and been able to work mostly from home. Obviously, we homeschool. I have two children. One is 17, he's a senior. One is 15, she's a sophomore. And Neely is in Challenge 2 right now. And John Paul has finished Challenge 3, but we did not have a Challenge 4 on our campus. So he is dually enrolled right now at Erskine.
Awesome. That's so exciting. You guys have been homeschooling with CC the whole way through. Is that correct?
The entire way since John Paul was 4. I was going to try it out and fell in love when we were trying it out when he was 4. And he and my daughter have been through the program ever since. And
Awesome.
I tutored foundations, essentials, and Challenge A along the way.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Sure.
And Paul, what about yourself? What do you do at Erskine?
I'm the vice president for advancement and alumni relations. So I am fundraising and fundraising.
Mm. Well, we all need help with that, and that helps keep just your options available for scholarships, such as the Challenge Award behind you. I know we'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. But just what part of South Carolina are you guys actually located in? And tell us a little bit about Erskine and the student population and the professors and such.
Okay.
I'll tell you where we're located and let Paul tell you more about the college. We are in a very small town about 30 miles south of Anderson, South Carolina, about 20 miles north of Greenwood. It's about a 50-minute drive to Greenville, South Carolina. It's a pretty rural area with a hometown feel, so we really love it here. We actually live in town and have been here for 21 years and are happy that we raised our children here. So that's a little bit about the town and where Erskine is located.
All right, Erskine was founded in 1839, and as such, it's the oldest four-year church-related college in South Carolina. And we actually have a seminary that was established in 1837. So we've been here a long, long time. It's a beautiful campus. It's spread out through the town. If you go through due west, you cannot miss Erskine because we're just part of the town. They just integrate one into the other. But very old, a lot of green, a lot of trees. It's a very peaceful campus. So we've been educating students here for 180 years.
Wow.
And we have 20 majors, 27 minors. Our faculty to student ratio is about 13-1. Our student body this year is around 815 students. We just had drop add day on Friday last week, so we're still counting, but we figure we'll be around 815 students. Liberal arts, and so you're constantly being challenged in areas within your major and outside your major and finding ways to connect the two. It's a challenging school. It's a school where you really do get to know other students and you get to know your professors. We have a video of a student from a couple years ago who said, you can't hide under your desk at Erskine. I think he tried that a little bit figuratively and he found out his professors knew whether he was performing well or not and would call him out. he wasn't. Yesterday, we had some students over to our house after church for lunch, and one is a freshman. I asked him how he found Erskine, and he said he was just scrolling through the computer one day and liked the looks of it and applied and felt like he couldn't afford it, but he found that it was very affordable for him. But he's been here 2 weeks, and he said that he was telling me about a professor that he just really has enjoyed. And he said, twice this week after class, I stayed around for 30 minutes and talked to him. And he said, he's invited me to his church. So I'm going to his church next week. And it's that sort of place where you can make those connections. There's a professor here that I often see in the dining hall sitting with her students at lunch. And I don't know if they're conducting class or if they're just having social time or what, but she's surrounded by students all the time. And those are just two examples of
Awesome.
what it is.
Yeah, I love that small student to professor ratio, and really an opportunity to get to know each other well. And, at almost 1,000 students, that's, big enough to have a lot of things available, but small enough to have that intimate relationship. And I just love hearing that, a student being able to kind of weave in so quickly with your community in just a couple of weeks. Because I know, like, I went to a big university and it was easy to get lost and, just, difficult to find where you belonged. And so, I mean, that's wonderful to hear. And I can attest to the beauty of that area. South Carolina is wonderful. Now, tell us about how classical conversations students, why would they be ideal for your college? And of course, we have the liberal arts and background that we share as well.
Well, I'm going to answer very quickly, and then I'll let Jeannie take it from there because she's been so involved with classical conversations and with students directly. But I asked our son yesterday how classical conversations had prepared him for the classes he's taking at Erskine. And without hesitating, he said, oh, writing, definitely writing. He said, you're expected in classical to write at such a high level that has been a benefit to him already. And the other area was reading. And so content or volume, and he said both. That he's already found it helpful in his English class that he's taken at Erskine.
Awesome. Yeah,
Right.
Jeannie, you got firsthand experience.
Yeah, I think I would just build on that. We are a Christian liberal arts school, so faith is very important here, and the professors are going to integrate that into their classroom. And I see, especially the upper level challenge classes, how they are integrating faith and rigorous academics, and how that translates over to Erskine in a really seamless manner. Like our son says, since he actually took a couple of classes last year as well, being dual enrolled, and immediately I noticed that his skills in writing, his critical thinking skills that he all developed through his challenge classes really put him above some of his students. Just having that ability to be able to write well, to be able to think well, to be able to prepare well, to be able to do hard things. I think challenge prepares students extremely well for the college environment. And here at Erskine, I think that they can, translate that into a more is the classical setting. Basically, they are expected to read and write and to discuss in all of their classes, and I think that pairs well with what they've been taught through the challenge classes.
You have small student to teacher ratio, beautiful campus, a wide variety of majors. What are one or two things that stand out that maybe a family might not know just browsing the website about Erskine that you want to make sure people know about today?
I think for me, I'm going to let Paul answer this too, would be that it's a Christian liberal arts, and what that means for homeschool families and for classically, educated students. That's a very good fit there. And number two, when you look at the price tag, like the student we had over yesterday, it's At first, some families might think, oh, we can't afford that. But Erskine does an excellent job of providing opportunities for financial aid, one of which we will like to talk about in a few minutes for CC families.
I think I would say the same thing. Just don't let the sticker shock scare you away. The student I was talking with yesterday said that he applied and then he said, I can't afford this. And the admissions office said, don't be so hasty. And after the financial aid office worked with him extensively, he was able to, I'm not sure he's paying anything, quite honestly. And students who have to take out loans, we try very hard to keep their loan level very low, and we have some programs to help them pay back loans. And then, the things that you can't see on a website are the way people care about students. We have a freshman here who experienced a tragedy just before he came to campus. And then one day, right after he got here, his glasses broke. Well, he's not from here.
Yeah.
So he went to the financial aid director, and I was in her office later, and she had his glasses on her desk. She said, I'm taking these to get these repaired. I saw her last week one day when she was leaving work, and she was going to pick him up and actually take him to an eye doctor. This was on her own time.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are things like that that go on constantly here.
That's awesome.
It's very nurturing.
And Paul and I are both alum. So we graduated Erskine. And one of the things I took away is that I still see the friends that I made here. We still get together. There's twice a year we'll see each other. And the other thing that I think, to answer your question about the takeaway from Erskine, is that this is an academically rigorous school. So if students go on to grad school, we have a very high rate of getting them into medical school, graduate institutions, and things like that. It's in the 90s or higher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love hearing those stories about living out our Christian values and doing those things on your own time, because I can't say that wouldn't happen at a larger school, but I'm sure that's a regular occurrence where you have your faculty loving on your kids. So, college is definitely expensive or costs money, but I know that there's a lot of ways to defray costs, and I know challenge students and homeschool students often get scholarships and grants and different things. So oftentimes that price that you see on the website isn't what you end up actually paying. So just tell us a little bit about this challenge award that we see behind you all. You can win $100,000 over 4 years, which is an awesome amount of money, and I'm sure would help out a lot of families. So tell me about that scholarship, or how you apply for that, and what that is about, and any other things that you guys do to help defray costs.
Okay, the scholarship is for students who have been in challenge.
Wow. Okay, so this is exclusive.
It is exclusively for challenge students. If you apply online, the code you want to put in is CC Video.
CC Video, okay.
CC Video. And it's an automatic scholarship for students who have been challenge students. You don't have to have finished a challenge program. You just have to have been in it at some point.
Okay, so
and then meet our admissions criteria.
Sure. Okay, so $100,000. So if someone says to me, challenge program is too expensive, I'll just let them know that they can get a $100,000 scholarship to Erskine just by attending. Of course, they have to apply. So tell us about like the application process. Do you guys take the SAT, CLT? What are you guys looking for in the application process?
Seniors can apply now, and we do take the SAT, ACT, and CLT. In fact, we are a site that will administer the CLT. If juniors are interested, they can apply starting January 1st. And there is an easy place to click online on the website to apply. What else?
I think that's it.
That's it.
Your admissions counselor takes it from that point and will walk you through the process.
That's awesome. Are there anything, so say I have a freshman or sophomore age child, is there anything that they should be doing as a family to start preparing for going into college? You guys have any recommendations? Should they start taking tests, these entrance exams, or are there specific things that you guys look for on those resume or application process that could help our students get in?
I think personally, I would start taking the ACT, SAT, or CLT as a freshman just to help your student become familiar with that type of test. And it also gives you some more leeway. You have several years, you can just keep practicing that. So that would be personally what I would recommend. Erskine, as long as you have taken it your junior, senior year before you apply, then you can apply to Erskine. What else?
Just start developing a list of things that you're interested in and the kind of environment you think you want to study in. And that might change as the student goes through school, but it's never too early to start looking. And then letting the school know that you're interested. So you can contact Erskine at any time and say, I'm interested, even if you're a sophomore. Definitely as a junior, I would start trying to arrange some visits. Erskine has a junior day that you can come to where you go to classes. You can spend the night on campus, meet professors, meet students, and then really start honing in your senior year on scholarships and financial aid. But start the process early.
Yeah.
I know with COVID going on, some of the larger universities are not doing on-campus visits. And that's a pro and a con. I mean, you can go online to do a virtual visit, but some of the smaller schools like Erskine, you can visit. Your family can come as one unit, and you can have a personal tour of the college. So that's something that juniors especially may want to start doing.
Yeah, I definitely encourage people to come check you guys out and visit those campuses, because if you're going to spend 4 years or 5 like myself, at one school, you're going to want to make sure it's a beautiful campus and somewhere you can see yourself. So, well, I'm flabbergasted. I didn't realize there was $100,000 for challenge students only. That's amazing. And just such just showing parents the value of this work that they've done, that you guys are going to step out in a big way and offer this challenge award. So just thank you so much. And parents, make sure, what's the website that they need to go to?
Erskine.
Erskine.edu.
Yeah. Erskine.edu.
Awesome. And then just there's a lot of new homeschoolers right now. They were expecting that we're going to go somewhere from 2 million homeschoolers in the U.S. to 4 million plus. And just Jeannie as an experienced homeschool mom, and Paul, of course, as a dad. Is there any sort of advice you have for these new homeschoolers from your years of experience?
Take a deep breath. Surround yourself with other families who homeschool so they can walk the walk with you, so you can ask questions. I was so fortunate to have friends who were a few years above me, who had children older than mine I could ask questions about and for. And I just found my CC community. I love my CC community. We are still going 17 years, and that has been such a support for me. At lunch, I can talk to my moms and we can encourage each other and we can ask questions. What are you doing here? What are you doing there? I would just really encourage people to get involved in the community and find your people there that you can call on when you're having a tough time. We've come to realize that in February of every year, we start questioning, why are we doing it? And we have just come to realize this must be the time of year when it's just tough. And we now know, push through. By the time March comes around, we're all fine. And we're encouraging each other to continue on this road of homeschooling. I just think it's so important that the mom or the dad, whoever's doing the homeschooling, has that support network. You're not going to mess your children up. CC, what I love about it is that it's got that structure and foundation to help me as I homeschool, especially in those challenge years. It's just laid out for us, and it's been such a neat experience for me to watch our children take that on and become more responsible and it's really my job. They're working me out of a job. You know, it's just been a fun, exciting thing for me to see as they have aged out or are aging out. And I do encourage the young moms, if you're in CC especially, that everything you're doing in foundations and essentials, you'll see the payoff so much in the challenge years. You'll get to experience that, just wow, how they are taking control of their learning, how they are using these skills that they have learned, and how they're, you know, the thinking skills and their writing skills and their rhetoric skills. It sometimes is just wonderful to sit back and watch that bloom and that grow.
Yeah, and they can get $100,000 scholarship too.
Right.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you all so much. Super excited. I want to make sure everyone goes checks out erskine.edu. Make sure you share and like this video and give us some comments below. Blown away by this $100,000 award just for those challenge students. So make sure that you apply for that today. And of course, there's no wonder that you guys want to recruit challenge students to Erskine with all those good things you say about them, Jeannie and Paul. So just thank you so much for your time today, and God bless.
Thank you so much.